What it do, boys? It's your boy Brez back with another sit-down video. Today I'm going to be dropping hella sauce for you guys. I'm going to show you guys exactly how we took this brand that has never ran ads before and been solely organic into doing a $217,000 month. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what we did as far as the brand side of things and exactly what their organic promotion looked like, as well as the special offers and stuff that were in place alongside of the product we were selling, the creatives we were using to sell that product. And I'm even going to hop into the ads manager in this video and show you guys exactly like step-by-step kind of what we were running for campaign strategies, all the way down to the creatives and how exactly we were targeting these people, so you guys can get a little bit of an understanding of what's going on inside of the actual ads manager itself. So like I said, this is a brand that has never ran ads before. This was their first time ever running ads. We managed to reach out to them. I actually met them at Caprice's mastermind. So after that mastermind, I followed up with them about running ads for their brand, and obviously they ended up going through with it with us. They came to the best in the game for the services. So yeah, these are two kids who are in high school. Well, actually just graduated high school, but they're fresh out of high school, absolutely crushing numbers with their brand. And thankfully they came to us for these services so that we were able to help them get to the next level with their brand. So let's dive a little bit into what exactly this brand looks like. Now, this brand is called Clairvoyant. Some of you guys may already know this brand. They've been doing pretty well organically on their own, but with these ads, like mentioned, we were able to take it to another level. So obviously this brand is structured very, very well already. And one of the key things that allowed them to do so well with this drop was their winning product in itself, as well as the organic foundation they already have. Now, like mentioned, with this winning product they have, this is a product that they already dropped before. So they went ahead and restocked it this past month, knowing the fact that it was a winning product already. They had that proof of concept from the last time that they dropped it. So they went ahead and restocked it with a plan to this time execute running ads to actually take it to the next level of scale and stretch it over a month-long time span of keeping that product in stock on their website. So another main thing that helped them both on the organic side of things and the ad side of things was the influencers that they had in their product. So before the drop, they had multiple different influencers like Quan in their product that brought in a new audience of people, as well as nurturing their current audience. When people see their favorite influencer wearing a product, it incentivizes them more to buy. So having influencers like Quan in their product is definitely going to help, one, from an ad standpoint, when we can run ads with Quan wearing their brand, as well as just the organic side of things and people who already follow the brand seeing a big influencer like Quan wear it. Now, regarding the content for this drop, it was just basic pieces of content as far as product photos and model shots and just simple things that showcase the product well in order to actually sell it. The product itself, we already knew was a winning product, so it didn't take anything crazy on the content side of things in order to sell this product. Simply, all it took was just some simple pieces of content placed in front of the right audience in order to do the crazy numbers we did with this drop. Now, let's talk about the rollout strategy for this drop. So, unlike most other brands we work with, we did no pre-drop advertisements prior to the drop, solely just their organic rollout. So now, regarding this rollout strategy, they started posting content around the 19th of August and realistically only had a couple of pre-drop posts that they pushed out organically. Those posts ended up doing really, really well since they hadn't had a drop in a long amount of time, so customers were obviously waiting for the drop. Now, unlike most brands we work with, they didn't run any sort of pre-drop advertisements. We didn't even start running ads until about 3 days after the drop. With this drop specifically, it was more so structured to push the drop post-drop when the product was already out, rather than build a crazy amount of hype before the drop, where then we released the product on drop day and did crazy numbers on drop day. It was more so of like a slow-paced buildup of ads over time. Now, regarding the actual drop day in itself, like I said, we didn't even start running ads until around 3 days after the drop had already been live. We started with just some simple campaign structure, as long as simple creatives we already knew were winning, and I'll show you guys that in just a minute once we hop inside the ads manager. But first, let's talk about the actual results that we were getting them within the first week to the first month of us running their ads. Now, within the first week of the drop, obviously the hype started to die down a little bit over time as the drop progressed. So within that first week, it was kind of a testing period of us figuring out exactly what worked with ads as we were scaling to get to the level where we could take things to high scale. So throughout that first week, we managed to maintain a super healthy 13x ROAS, spending around $1.2K to make around $17,500 back. Keep in mind, obviously, that return is going to be super, super good as there's hype coming in from the drop. But as that starts to slow down, our ROAS is going to decrease, but the volume we're doing from ads is going to increase. So around the first month of the drop, after all of the hype had died down and ads were picking up, we managed to spend around $11,000 to make back $65,000 at, again, a healthy 5x return. So now I could sit here and yap about results all day long, but let's get into the ads manager and show you guys some real value and some real results. All right, boys, so now hopping into the Shopify and the actual ads manager itself. First things first, we got to show you guys the numbers, show you that we're not capping, but 200K in 1 month, 1,789 orders at a 1.3% conversion rate. So looking super healthy here. If we look around the first week of the drop, September 1st through 7th, actually the drop day was on the 2nd, but $93,000 in sales in that first week. So you can see all that hype coming in from the drop. And then if we look towards about the last week of the drop, towards the end of September, we were still doing consistent multiple $1,000 days throughout the drop. So still maintaining that healthy 1.2% conversion rate. So overall looking super good. And then if we take a look at September 30th, we were still, even after all of the pre-drop hype had hyped down and everything coming in organically was pretty much dead, ads were managing to maintain a $7,000 to $8,000 days if we look at October 1st here. So obviously, with all of that hype died down, but ads starting to pick up, we were managing to still maintain $8,000 days at a 2% conversion rate. So looking super good there. But obviously, unfortunately, they had to then fulfill those orders. So they went ahead and closed their drop, even when we were doing $8,000 days consistently, which is unfortunate, but has to be done, obviously, so that we can fulfill those orders on time. And then when we restock these products again in the future, can go even harder on the restock. Now, coming into the ads manager itself here, let's take a look at kind of what we were doing as far as our campaign structure. So obviously off the rip here, we were starting with a basic cold conversions campaign as well as a retargeting and interest stack. And then as we built out our campaigns and started to build more data inside of those, we then looked to implement a lookalike audience campaign. So if we look at the whole month for September here, obviously you can see we started with this simple cold conversions campaign, spending around $4.2K from that campaign to let alone get $24,000 in sales at a $20 cost per purchase. Then looking at our retargeting campaign, obviously we had so much engagement coming in from that pre-drop hype organically that then post-drop we had to heavily retarget those customers so that those customers who were seeing the product before it was released now see it after when the product is actually released in itself. So looking at this retargeting campaign in that first month, we spent around 1.3K to make back $10,000 at a 7.75 return. Looking at our interest stack, we spent around $4,130 to make back $22,000. So the whole point of running that is to target people more specifically based on the things that they're interested in. So things like streetwear, Balenciaga, Stussy, all interests that are related to Clairvoyant's brand and what people that would averagely engage with Clairvoyant would also engage with outside of that brand. So we're picking interests that are similar to what Clairvoyant's target audience looks like, putting those into an interest stack just like so, splitting those up, finding which interests specifically perform the best, and then moving forward with those interests in order to take it to scale. So as you can see, throughout all 9 of these interests here, they were all performing pretty evenly, all maintaining around a 4 to 6 ROAS, spending around $1,000 to make roughly 10K back per ad set. And overall, this campaign as a whole just performed very well. Then looking at our lookalike. So our lookalike here was again broken down into 3 different ad sets to figure out exactly which percentages of the lookalike audience are going to perform the best. And obviously you can see that we found 1 to 3% perform the best. So quickly we turned those other 2 ad sets off in order to put more budget into the 1 to 3% because we knew that was winning. If we look at like the cost per clicks here, for example, the cost per clicks are a little bit higher on this ad set, but the overall conversion when looking at the return is better. So we continued to allocate more budget into that 1 to 3% lookalike ad set in order for it to get more spend and obviously bring more revenue in the end of the day. Now, let's go ahead and dive into kind of what the creative side of things looked like for all of these campaigns. So throughout all these campaigns, we had our winning creatives already from the rip. So we just put all of these winning creatives into each campaign, into each ad set, and just ran everything with the same creatives that we knew were performing well. So if I go ahead and open up the preview of these different creatives, I'll kind of run you guys through what we were running. So this first one here, like I said, a big influencer wearing the brand. Quan wearing the brand. Everyone knows who Quan is. As soon as he puts something on, it's going to incentivize people to buy it way more than anything else, right? So first one here is going to be a video with Quan. Now our second one here, again, Quan, we milked it hard. It worked, so we milked it. This one is just a little photo shoot of him wearing the basic black sweatsuit, the most high selling colorway, but this one again performed very, very well. Looking at creative number 3 here, we just have a basic model shot of, again, another influencer. Just kind of cool little aesthetic, him duplicated 3 times, looks flashy, catches eyes, brings people in, and overall just showcases the sweatsuit and the product itself very, very well. Then looking at number 4, pretty similar to that last creative I showed you guys, just more so in video form. So this one again, just showcasing the product really, really well, showing it on body, showing what it looks like, and then again, the most high selling colorway. If we look at number 5 here, this one again, another influencer, except it's a girl this time. So we can show this ad to girls and allow girls to see this and target a whole new audience of people with this creative. So again, her just wearing the product, showing what it looks like on body, and obviously it's an influencer that's well known. So again, it's hitting that selling point of, oh, there's my favorite influencer wearing this product, I'm gonna buy it too. And then our last creative we were running here, creative number 6, just boom, simple flat lay of the product, showing different close-ups of it, showing details of it, showing the front and back, showing all the different angles of the product, showing all the different selling points of the product up close, and overall just obviously selling the product very, very well. So this was one of our top performing creatives just because of how simple, clean, aesthetic, and just straight to the point it is, especially when you put something like this into a retargeting campaign. All right, so now that we took a dive into the ads manager and the actual Shopify itself, let's talk about some of the main key takeaways from this drop. So first things first, off the rip, we already knew we had winning creatives. We had Quan wearing it. We had that big girl influencer. We had solid product photos. It was pretty much just a matter of testing different audiences to figure out what works because we already knew we had our winning creatives and didn't really have to test any creatives. So it was really just a matter of building out different campaigns, testing different audiences, and figuring out exactly what worked the best for Clairvoyant. After we were able to figure that out, it was just a matter of vertically scaling and allocating more budget into what works to take it to another level of scale and do the crazy numbers that we did with this brand. And obviously, like I showed, those creatives were very influencer heavy to where it incentivized people to buy a lot just because they saw some big influencers wearing their brand. And in the reality, that's really all it takes with a brand to be able to do those numbers. It doesn't take anything crazy. It's just a good product, some good content, and the right ad setup behind the brand in order to achieve numbers like we achieved with this brand. Now, one unfortunate thing with this brand is that they did want to close their site, like I mentioned before, in order to fulfill those orders on time. Even though we were doing $7,000 to $8,000 a day consistently after all of the drop had died down solely from ads alone. Ads were bringing in so much traffic to the brand that was at a high converting rate, allowing us to be able to hit those $7,000 to $8,000 days. And I still believe that if we were running ads for them now 2 weeks after they've closed their site, I still think that we would be able to achieve those numbers just simply because they had a good product, they had good content, their website looked good, and we were running ads with the right setup and the right team in order to generate those results from ads alone. Like I said, that's so doable for any brand. So obviously this is one of many brands that I work with, ranging from brands all the way as big as Caprice down to brands as small as startups with very little followers on Instagram. Moral of the story, this can be doable with any brand, no matter the size. So if you guys are interested in working with me to have me do numbers like this for your brand, I'm gonna go ahead and leave the link down in the description below to apply to work with me. I'll be reviewing all the applications manually myself, and if you're qualified, I'll have someone from my team reach out to you in regards to working with us. So like I said, if you guys are interested in that, go fill out an application down in the link below. Otherwise, I hope this video helps. I hope this was some value for y'all. Make sure you subscribe, like this video, and follow me on Instagram, which is also going to be linked down in the description below. But without further ado, that's going to wrap up the video. If you guys are interested in more videos like this, I have tons posted across my page. But I will catch you boys in the next video.